Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day today. I wanted to take you through our front porch flower bed. It's late summer, so we're starting to lose some of our blooms, but as the summer goes on, there's more and more things coming out still. And we'll be turning into fall here shortly, so just wanted to take you through the existing flower bed as it is today. So I put in this bed up in the front of our house last September, so that was September 2023. And prior to that, it really was a wasteland. There was a lot of weeds. It was a lot of really bad soil. So we had a company come in and dig down about 2 feet to be able to get out all of the really hard clay soil. We brought in fresh planting soil and then topped it with mulch from our existing maple trees. So we actually mulched under the leaves in our lawnmower and then added about 4 inches to the top. And so it's actually done really great with weed control and getting some awesome nutrients in the soil. So the majority of these flowers were sourced locally here in the greater Seattle area. We've got a lot from Christensen's nursery up in Mount Vernon, a lot from the former Molbachs, may it rest in peace. We also got a lot from Snohomish Garden Center, which is literally just down the road from us. We got a few from friends, from seeds. The zinnias that you're gonna see are from Florette's custom flower mix. Everybody is here local and they're beautiful. And since this is its first year, it's not quite as filled in, but we'll see what survives this coming winter and what grows in for next season. So let me just take you through the garden here real fast. So right here we've got some Veronica, and that has filled in this corner nicely. It's a great pollinator bush. It is in the white here in this corner. Down here I've got some sedum, trying to just kind of grow in and be a good ground cover so I don't have to weed as much. Also a variety of Dusty Miller ground cover. And then here's that Florette zinnia that we grew from seed. This one I believe is also a zinnia. It just hasn't bloomed out yet. So we'll see what that turns out to be. More zinnias all through here. Coneflower or echinacea. I love this color. I just adore sunset colors so much, and I think they look so beautiful in the garden. And then here is fuchsia. I may need to transplant this one because it is looking like it got a little bit burnt in our hot summer days. So we'll see what that one looks like, but you can see that the leaves just might need a little bit of TLC here. I did try to plant in some evergreens. It's currently being taken over by petunias, but with the evergreen, I do want some fall and winter interest. So this one has been a really cute little mounding evergreen bush that puts off like a chartreuse yellow for its new growth. And then look here at all of these amazing pollinators. I'll try not to scare them off, but this bush here of the chives is just such a great pollinator attractor, and it adds really, really, really great texture and late summer color to the garden. As we move up, I've got some lavender here. I do need to cut this back so it doesn't get woody. So as soon as these last few remaining blooms are gone, I will hack it back by about 1/3 to bring it down and just kind of create that low mounding lavender that we want versus where it gets woody if you just let it grow. So I will probably cut it way back to about there. And then some heuchera, more zinnias. This bee balm is done. I am letting it go to seed though, so it self-pollinates. I've got a hebe right through here. And then as I move up, I've got Russian sage right here, petunias, more of the zinnias. I've got a lupin that just got planted last year. It's a pretty small one. That is in those beautiful pink sunset colors as well, so I'm excited to have that one come back. And then more, I think this is a type of Russian sage. I can never remember the name of this one. I think it's in the same family, but it just is a prolific spreader and is really, really great for the pollinators. You can see the bees on there right now. I'll cut this one back once the blooms are spent and the pollinators can't get anything else off of it. This fuchsia, it looks a little sad because it got run over by our dog. So our dog came bounding through the gardens and ended up breaking off a branch on the side. So it's just growing a little funny, but it's doing a great job right there. And then another one of those evergreen moundy bushes. Here's some geraniums. We ended up getting wild geraniums as a border to our walkway as it goes up to the front porch. So they do bloom early summer. They are pretty spent now in their blooms, but we are hoping that they eventually do fill in and create a really great border along there. And then this lavender was already spent with all of its blooms, so I've already cut that one back. And then more echinacea varieties, more sedum. Another little fuchsia tucked in there. Some extra petunias that we had from a different planting project that I used as filler to kind of mound over the rocks. So those are looking pretty good. Some peonies that are of course done for the season. More echinacea, another fuchsia. And then I can't remember the name of this one too, and I know one of you will know the name of it. It's a pretty popular one, but it is amazing for hummingbirds. We get so many hummers that come out in the garden and just really enjoy that plant. Another little hebe down here. This one, I left the tag on it because I can't remember the name of that. It's a kaleidoscope abelia, I think is how you say it. I think it might be getting too much sun up here because it does say full sun to part shade. But with the health of the branches, I'm just not sure if that is what it is supposed to look like or not. If anybody has this in a zone 8B, please let me know if it's supposed to look like that, because I want it for winter interest and color, and I really do like the coloring of the leaves. I'm just not sure that it's in a healthy spot right now. So let me know if you have that one in your garden. This lavender desperately needs to be cut back. All of the blooms are spent. There's no pollinators on it, so I'll probably get back to that one today. And then this one right here is a beautiful, healthy bush. This is a candy coralberry, and it does get these beautiful berries on it in this pink color. So when all of the foliage is gone in the winter, you have beautiful berries. And then more of the ground cover of the sedum. And another one that whose name I can't remember. I think I took all the tags out of that one. I've got a crocosmia right here. That one is already come and done for the season. Another Russian sage that's going a little bit crazy coming out this direction, so I'll probably need to prop that one up. This one is a winter bloomer, and it has the most amazing smell on it. It is a, let's get that in the shade here. Sarcoca confusa, sweet box is the common name. This one also, I'm a little afraid it's in too sunny of a location. We are a full south facing garden up here, so it's so far done okay. I think it's because it's right next to the watering system, but we'll see. I need to keep an eye on that one, but I really wanted that winter blooming smell that just makes it smell like summer, because I am a warm weather lover, and to not have any flowers blooming in the winter makes me so sad. So here's some iris, of course, more sedum as the ground cover. This is a fuchsia, or I'm sorry, this is a gardenia that I almost lost, and I really need to watch this one because they are not really known as good growers in our climate. But I did notice that it had a little bit of green left on the stems, and so I did go ahead and transplant it back into the garden to see if I can get it to regrow. Here's one of our mini hydrangeas in the garden. And then this one is also for winter interest right next to my evergreen. So this guy right here is a summer last coconut crepe myrtle. And I just, again, I love the flowers on it. I love the berries on it. So that'll be really great winter interest for us as well. I did try and leave on as many of the tags as I possibly could, just because it is a new bed and I wanted to see what made it through the winter and what didn't. And so that allowed me to know like what did well in this bed and what didn't. Unfortunately, some of the tags have blown away over this past few months, but for the most part, I do have them on there. I've got some winter interest with the grasses. This really cool hydrangea. I just love the way that these petals show. It's not it almost looks like a lilac bloom. I just love it. It's such a beautiful one. And then this one, I got this at Christensen's Nursery. It was a 5-gallon pot for around $45. It was not a cheap one, but I just love the style of it so much. And I thought I had the tag on here. If I find the tag, I'll post it in the comments. But it just is such a cool hydrangea. So really love that one. I have some redwood dogwood in here as well for winter interest and to be able to cut and make some arrangements with. Some more iris that will come up next season. And then as we move back through the garden, just kind of a repeat of the same. So it really kind of draws your eye around and is consistent throughout the entirety of the flower bed. So that is our front entry. I'll take you over to the other side. It is also a repeat for the most part. It looks a little bit fuller, and honestly, I'm showing you it at a time that we had really strong rain and wind over this past weekend. So this poor dahlia is so sad. Look how it's growing. It's trying to bend up and come back to the sun, but these stalks are just, I mean, I worry about popping them back up because I think that they'll snap, but it is covering a hydrangea underneath there. I've got crocosmia right there as well, more echinacea, and then some grasses that also met the demise of the wind and the rain that we had this past weekend. We had a very unseasonably strong rainstorm here in Seattle. We're about an hour north of the city, so we are in the country, and it definitely got us. But I do have some roses tucked back here. Here's a yellow one. This one right here is a beautiful, it gets to be this gorgeous lavender purple color. And then I've got some salvia. We can't winter over salvia in our climate. I tried so hard last year to get it to survive the winter. We got a super cold snap that gave us a lot of frost in January, and we lost every single salvia that I tried to winter over. So unfortunately, I think we're probably going to lose that one as well, but we'll see. We'll see what happens this year. And then just kind of tucked back in there, I've got some sedum, some more of the redwood dogwood. Along the back wall, I am trying to grow some dahlias. I have them intermixed with peonies. So I did a peony, then a dahlia, then a peony, then a dahlia. And I figured with the reflection of the heat from the house that would actually be a really great use of that space. We don't get any rain naturally there because of our overhang on the house. So we do have the drip line irrigation that does keep them well watered, but those are brand new starts. So they're probably not going to be prolific bloomers for us this season, but next year we hopefully should have really great blooms on the dahlias. And then more echinacea. And there's a spent peony right in there. The evergreen again. And then there's a white rose bush. It doesn't have any blooms on it right now, but it's just about to explode. More lavender, and then more Russian sage. I did plant a climbing clematis back here as well, so I want to get it to grow up the drain pipe, but we'll see what it does. So I've got that planted right there. So that's our front flower bed. What do you think? Is there anything that I'm doing wrong? Anything that I'm doing differently than you? Anything that you have specific questions on? I really enjoy flowers. I'm new at kind of planning a garden out, so I would love to know if there's anything that you're doing differently that you think would help me out a little bit and be able to share wisdom. That's what it's all about, right? Learning from other gardeners. I do have some hanging baskets right here. We've got coleus in there, impatiens, and potato vine. They're not doing super hot. That one has more coleus. This one, the potato vine, is going bonkers. And then this one, the impatient, is going crazy. So I don't know. They're very, very inconsistent. We also did plant them kind of later in the season, so they really haven't had a lot of time to establish themselves. And they're also not on an irrigation system. So that could be why they're not doing as great. And then over here on this side of the porch is just a tiny little planter, but add a couple rocking chairs in there. And then I did add, when we redid the flower bed, I added these steps to be able to get down into the grass without having to go all the way around the walkway and then, or like through the flower bed. And that has been really, really nice to have. But it's a beautiful, partly sunny day here in Snohomish. And down below is our wedding venue, Twin Willow Gardens. So if you want to follow along on our adventures of our gardening and our venue and all the things that we have going on, it's a little bit of a crazy life we lead, but excited to share it with you guys. Thanks for watching.